5 on your side at 10 starts now.
We have a dangerous stretch of heat and humidity, plus I'll time out any storm chances.
As the area heats up, people prepare to cool down.
It's going to be a very dangerous week next week with the heat.
What you need to know to stay safe. 2 Belleville women face charges after a shooting at a McDonald's.
I just can't believe it's happened in a town like this.
Residents react as we learn how it all started. Right now, we're in a weather impact alert. You are taking a live look over Busch Stadium, where thousands endure today's heat to see the Savannah Bananas, and it's only going to get worse. Thanks so much for joining us at 10. I'm Kelly Jackson. Let's get right over to meteorologist Jim Castillo with our weather impact forecast with heat that will be dangerous.
Yes, and this is going to last for a while. In fact, that weather impact alert all the way into next week. So tomorrow it starts at noon and goes through at least Wednesday at 7. So 103 to 110 plus the heat index. You feel that humidity out there, even the overnight lows, upper 70s to low 80s. So when we get into this heat, we're already there now. And in fact, that humidity was so bad today, even though the high was 87, it felt like 95. So hydrate, take plenty of breaks, and make sure you find some AC. So here is that extreme heat warning, most of the area. And then some of these other counties, Jersey County, Bond, Clinton County, under a watch that begins on Monday. So likely a heat warning will be extended into that area. And so this is one example. Saturday, about 107 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You get around any corn, it sweats and it feels even more humid, and about 114. Wouldn't be surprised to see numbers like that, but a lot of areas in the low 100s to mid, about 107, 108. And then record highs, not really looking for that, but it will be close to 100 as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And coming up in Maine weather, we'll talk about some storms tonight in some areas and those storms that are possible throughout the weekend and when they may happen.
As we brace for that extreme heat, safety officials are sending out a warning to take precautions. Hot weather can lead to life-threatening heat-related illnesses. 5 News Side's Brent Solomon joins us in studio with what you need to know to protect yourself, Brent.
Well, you know, that's exactly what we mean when we say we're entering a dangerous heat wave. Being out in the elements for too long can cause a long list of symptoms that you need to be aware of to protect yourself and those around you. There's nothing like a little exercise in the park.
Every day, man.
To keep the body moving and work up a sweat.
At the same time, I'm getting all these nasty toxins out of me also. This is a natural sweat. This is not sweat by, by stress.
It's why Otis Collins loves coming downtown, taking in the beauty of the outdoors.
I'm still working out outside. I don't make no excuses.
That's smart.
Rain, sleet, or snow.
And in the dog days of summer, it means drinking up.
Lemon water, honey, and lime put together.
Take a look at the hot temperatures this week. A big jump Saturday, with temps expected to climb to 101 degrees by the middle of next week.
It's not a good week to be out mowing the grass at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Chief Brad White is with the O'Fallon, Illinois Fire Department.
We really are worried about the young and the old. So it's not infrequent for our medical personnel to be out. People get overheated.
If you're working outside, he says take breaks. Get in the shade when you can, and be aware of symptoms from heat-related illness. High body temperatures, headaches and dizziness, heavy sweating, nausea or vomiting, even passing out.
Folks don't hydrate themselves. You know, you're going to sweat profusely. And even if that breeze kicks in and you don't feel like you're hot, your body is going to absorb and burn through that water very quickly. So it's really like this weekend would be a great time just to start drinking excessive amounts of water. So next week when you're hot, you're not as likely to become dehydrated.
Good things to keep in mind. Chief White says the next few days are when you should check on your loved ones and neighbors, especially if they don't have AC and especially if they're older or have young children at home. Another reminder, don't leave pets or kids in those hot cars.
And you can get the weather impact forecast sent straight to your phone anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. Right now, 2 women are facing charges in connection with the shooting at a Belleville McDonald's. Police are telling us how it all started. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend has reaction to the new developments.
Shortly before 5 Wednesday afternoon, police went to check out a disturbance at this McDonald's on South Belt East in Belleville. Officers learned a shooting happened inside the fast food restaurant. Customers and neighbors shocked to hear the person police say pulled the trigger is a manager, 44-year-old Kathy Bledsoe.
I just can't believe it's happened in a town like this, that's all. So it's just insanity.
And this McDonald's has a lot of people inside sitting all the time.
Police say the gunfire flew after Bledsoe told a female worker to clock out and go home. Investigators say the McDonald's manager asked the teenage employee to take the trash out, and when she refused, the girl returned here with her mother. Police say Bledsoe and the Belleville mom, 35-year-old Tanika McKenzie, first argued in the McDonald's lobby. The altercation escalated when McKenzie and her daughter went behind the front counter to an office area. Investigators say McKenzie struck Bledsoe in her face and head. Police say the restaurant manager then pulled out a gun and fired once, striking the mom in her leg. It's unclear if any customers were inside the McDonald's at the time.
Makes you scared to go anywhere. Makes you scared to take kids anywhere.
Kathy Bledsoe is charged with a felony count of aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Tanika McKenzie is charged with felony counts of aggravated battery and mob action.
A lot of arguments and things that turn into shootings could be avoided just by communication. Better communication is honestly the key.
In a statement, a local McDonald's owner said in part, quote, "We are shocked and saddened by this attack. Our top priority is always the safety and well-being of our people." Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Kathy Bledsoe remains in the Belleville jail. Police say Tanika McKenzie was taken to a hospital and is not yet in custody. Tonight, a shootout in Tower Grove South remains under investigation. Police say 5 people, including 3 teens, began shooting at each other last night around 7 near Morgan Ford and Beck. Witnesses say the gunfire erupted as children played just a few feet away.
I look outside my window and I saw like one guy on the ground like shooting towards like down, I guess, towards the street, you know, because he was over there by like the tire area. And then he ran down the street like back behind like the school church area, and I just heard kids like screaming. There were parents out there, and then I saw them like all the cops' cars come. And
all 5 were taken to area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say they all claim they didn't know who shot them. Tonight, one of 2 people wanted for a Cahokia Heights murder is behind bars. Police arrested John Davis in connection with the deadly shooting of 19-year-old Quan Vaughn last month. Officers say they were alerted to his whereabouts by a person who saw his picture on the news. Another suspect, Javon Hamburg, is still on the run. He is considered armed and dangerous. Today, Addie Malone Children and Family Services canceled its annual Back to School Family Fest just weeks before it was set to take place. The yearly event is known for providing thousands of families with back to school resources. Organizers say the cancellation is due to recent government funding cuts. The organization says it is open to working with local lawmakers on future opportunities. Today, Illinois community leaders and elected officials held a roundtable to discuss the impact of cuts to federal food programs. Officials met with farmers and food pantry workers in Carlinville. The meeting's goal was to understand the threats those cuts could have on our community. Leaders say they're already seeing ranging consequences.
Actually, we're seeing it in the local food pantries where they're not having as much funding to get the food from the producers.
Having healthy food options that don't just mean a can of beans. It's actually giving people fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables, access to meat.
Leaders fear these cuts could also negatively impact area farmers if families buy processed foods instead of local goods. St. Louis County officials tell us they are closing their disaster recovery centers for those impacted by the May 16th tornado. The Mid-County and Prairie Commons libraries were closed on Thursday. They'll remain open tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. the following week. All St. Louis City locations are still open. Celebrating our colleague and friend. A look back at Kay Quinn's unforgettable journey at KSDK and the legacy she's leaving behind.
She makes more money than he does, at least in a third of all.
And the hope is that by keeping people healthy, they'll prevent a weakening of the immune system.
But you don't have to be a VA patient to participate.
The federal government has passed a similar measure.
These lanes of Highway 40 dead end into the Missouri River tonight. It's a very...
Good evening, I'm Kay Quinn.
It has been a bittersweet day here at 5 on Your Side as we said goodbye to one of our most beloved colleagues, Kay Quinn. Both St. Louis City and County issued proclamations today designating July 18th as Kay Quinn Day. Today at 4, during her last newscast, Kay was surrounded by her husband Jim and son Jimmy and many of her co-workers as we bid her goodbye. For 36 years, Kay has been a trusted presence in your homes. Her extraordinary career has left a lasting mark on all of us. Here's a look back at her remarkable journey and the many colleagues who love and respect her.
It's one of the first things students do, and one of the more popular.
When Kay first stepped into the Channel 5 newsroom, she was a freelancer, but with an established voice in radio.
City health officials say about
It was clear she would go on to tell stories that mattered.
But the Pope will basically pull up right outside the building that we are in now.
We had this focus series, and every day of the week there was focus on health and business or all these different topics. So I started out doing that, and by May, I had a full-time contract. It was a dream come true.
Information on childproofing your home is also as close as the internet.
She would become our health reporter, a role she held for nearly 2 decades, informing our community, especially through her commitment to breast cancer awareness.
Women would want to be shot in silhouette. They'd want their voices changed back in 1989 if they were going to talk about their breast cancer. And then Karen Foss had a mammogram on the air, and you started to hear about the importance of screening to catch things early, and from there it just mushroomed. And now I'm so pleased to say it's a sisterhood.
Kay also became the familiar and trusted face of the Komen St. Louis Race for the Cure and More Than Pink Walk.
Komen's always been important to me. It's been important to the station, and it's a great example of how media can work in partnership with organizations to raise people up.
The children's visiting hours have been cut back.
For years, viewers welcomed Kay into their homes every weekend.
Kay is the most unflappable anchor I've ever met. She could sit there, you could shoot cannons and guns, and she'll just keep reading. You know what she told me once? She goes, you know what? I just keep reading until somebody tells me not to. But I just can't imagine Channel 5 without her.
Kay's influence went far beyond the camera.
Never once did I feel like she thought I was beneath her, thought that, he's just a production assistant, whatever. If anything, she took the time to kind of nurture and provide feedback and advice.
A single inspiring encounter can shape a future, just as it did for a high schooler who years later is now a colleague.
She came to Notre Dame to talk about breast cancer health. At the time, she was the health beat reporter, and then she was talking about women in the media, and I was starstruck. So 17-year-old me knew then and there that I wanted to work in journalism.
Over the years, Kay has covered thousands of stories, but one about a boy named John Smith sticks with her.
He was under the ice for 15 minutes before the EMS crews could pull him out. He was without a pulse for 55 minutes. He had not breathed. They rushed him to the hospital, and he survived.
His remarkable story was made into a movie with Kay featured in the film.
This is Kay Quinn reporting live from Cardinal Glen Hospital.
I've always been so honored that the Smith family, they called me to ask me to come tell John's story.
When you ask her colleagues, one of Kay's biggest strengths, covering breaking news.
Again, city and county officials have now ordered an evacuation around the Phillips Pipeline Company of a 1-mile radius.
There's nobody better in this building or in this city that's better at breaking news than Kay Quinn. She's an anchor's anchor, we're going to miss her terribly, both professionally and personally, because she is, like I say, such a kind person.
We've had a lot of active weather this year, and she's been on the desk for much of it. She's following the storm reports. She's encouraging the producers. She's helping the producers produce our coverage.
She's just so
phenomenal in taking what's going on live and then translating back to the viewer so that the viewer gets another synopsis of the story.
One thing we all agree on is Kay's unwavering commitment to true journalism.
And I've heard even younger journalists in the newsroom say, Kay, we learn from you. We watch you. We're better because of how you move. And so that absence will definitely be felt, but I think it leaves a mark of inspiration for us all to continue the legacy.
I think she focuses on the small things that keep this newsroom running smoothly and humming throughout the day with all of our decisions that we're making as we get ready for the newscast. And that's a rarity, to have that kind of attention and care, and it's very much appreciated.
Off camera, Kay was building a family with her husband Jim, and one of her proudest achievements, her son Jimmy.
My husband of 30 years, my son, who's starting his own career now, have just lifted me up all the way along. I have never heard no from them, and the hours can be a little challenging here sometimes. I would not be here without them.
After 36 years of storytelling, service, and impact, we honor the journalist, mentor, and friend she's been, and look forward with gratitude and joy to all that's ahead. Truly the best.
Oh my goodness. Wow, you know, I can't imagine this place without her. And so Monday I have to do the noon. I don't even know who's anchoring the noon on Monday with me.
Not sure. I don't know.
We don't know.
But you'll be forecasting. I see a lot of red on that map right now.
Yes, there is heat headlines, and Kelly, it's going to stay with us all the way through the weekend and into next week. So an extreme heat warning, that's what it's called now, all the way through tomorrow. Really at noon it starts up and then goes all the way into next week, and likely extended even further past Wednesday when it ends at this point. But then we have an extreme heat watch for the rest of the counties in effect starting on Monday. So what's going on? Well, we have high pressure that is building in the jet stream right here. It's starting to lift northward, and as that high expands, you see all the red on here, that's the heat that will continue to build. And that Futurecast heat index feels like 107 in St. Louis at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 105 Shiloh. These are the numbers we'll be seeing not only tomorrow, but into Sunday and all of next week. Sullivan 104, Rolla 101, and Edwardsville at about 102. We also have had some storms around, so from Lesterville to Des Arc, all the way to Ironton, some storms definitely just popped up there, staying below severe limits, but heavy rain, frequent lightning. And that's going to be the case over the next few days here until we get to about Monday morning, and then we're going to dry up, it looks like. We had a few showers even around Louisiana, Missouri. Those have dissipated. You watch right there in the loop. And then the Futurecast showing that risk even during the late night hours, overnight hours into tomorrow morning, a chance of some spotty showers and storms. Most of them will be north of our viewing area, but we'll watch some of these drop down, especially into the Illinois side, east of the Mississippi River, as we get into tomorrow and tomorrow night. And then we get into Sunday morning, a chance of showers and storms, mainly north, but watch even in the evening hours. We could see some more storms popping up in the area. So something we just have to watch all the way through Monday. And there's a front in northern Missouri, right on the Missouri-Iowa border. We're in that hot, humid side, so 95 as we get into Sunday's forecast in St. Louis. And so that dangerous heat with that humidity staying with us. And look at those highs on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Upper 90s, low 100s, but it feels like 103 to 110 plus. And looks like, again, that chance of storms will be with us off and on throughout Monday morning.
All right. Everyone be careful out there. Yeah. All right. Annie's here with sports.
Coming up, the Savannah Bananas are back in town, and they are living up to the viral social media hype. What to expect tomorrow for round 2 in this game, where baseball gets reimagined. That and more coming up next in sports. They're changing the face of baseball one viral TikTok at a time. The Savannah Bananas finally getting to make their mark on St. Louis for the first time in history, originally launching the new College Summer League back in 2015 in Savannah, Georgia. That's become an international phenomenon, and thousands of fans pack the stands at Busch to catch a glimpse of the social media sports celebrities. The high-speed, high-energy baseball phenomenon is all thanks to co-founder Jesse Cole and his wife, Emily. You could see Mr. Yellow Suit himself singing in the stands tonight to Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody. Dancing umpires and choreographed dances were in order as the Bananas beat their rivals, the Party Animals, 4-2. Surprises were promised this morning by Bananas head coach Tyler Gillum, and he made good on that promise after 18 seasons as a Cardinal. The righty Adam Wainwright made a guest appearance as a Savannah Banana tonight.
So in showdowns, if it's pitcher versus hitter, when the hitter hits the ball, the pitcher has to run all the way to the fence, pick the ball up, and try to throw him all the way out. So it's crazy. You got to be in shape as a pitcher. You got to have really good stuff.
And the Cardinals had 4 days off before Andre Palante took the mound against Arizona tonight. The game is still going on, so we can't show you highlights quite yet, but the Redbirds have been taking a beating. It is the top of the 7s, and so far the Diamondbacks are beating them 6-0. So we're going to head on over to, of course, my favorite sport. It has to be golf, and it is the second day of the U.S. Open. So when it comes to the Open, it's hard not to root for Irishman Rory McIlroy in his home country. But after imploding in epic fashion at the tournament 6 years ago off the very first tee, McIlroy's initial round yesterday was far more impressive, sitting at 1 under with a score of 70. Yet the national favorite is slowly falling behind as the iconic Scottie Scheffler and a young but hungry UK native started to leave him in the dust today. Round 2 of the Open did not disappoint at Royal Portrush today. World number 1 Scottie Scheffler fired off an inspired second round, going 7 under for 64 to capture the top of the leaderboard in Northern Ireland. Right behind him is Englishman Matt Fitzpatrick, a former Northwestern University golfer for a short time, which is my alma mater. And Fitzpatrick sits 1 stroke behind Scheffler at 9 under. Scheffler has 2 Masters wins and a PGA title to his name, but has never won the Open. And Coach Drink has to be proud of one of his stellar and recent football grads today. The Chicago Bears rookie Luther Burden III has reportedly locked in one of the most jaw-dropping contracts any second-round pick could ever dream of. Reports say that the Bears have reached an agreement today with Burden on a fully guaranteed, nearly $11 million contract. It marks the first time in NFL history that the 39th pick has locked in a fully guaranteed deal. Burden was hands down one of the best recruits in the NFL draft for Chicago this year, coming off his 2-time first-team All-SEC performance. And we have some basketball news as well. We get to shout out some Mizzou history. This happened this afternoon. 5-star California guard Jason Crow Jr. has announced his commitment to play for the Tigers. The 6'3" senior from Englewood is currently ranked 6th in the composite, and with his rating of .9975, head coach Dennis Gates is about to welcome the second highest rated player to ever commit to Mizzou in Columbia.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
And can City SC make it 2 wins in a row tomorrow as they take on FC Dallas? They beat Portland 2-1 on Sunday, which was their first outright win since May. City SC has had a brutal time winning on the road this year, but in a lucky turn of events, Dallas is almost allergic to getting a win at home. Their football club has only done it twice this season during their 11 home games, so it could be anybody's game tomorrow night at 7:30.
I want to try and turn that narrative around. I know that's been a narrative at the club for a while now, a few seasons that we have struggled to get results away. So all I can speak about is I'm going to try and change that narrative around and try and get some points now on the road as well as at home. We've performed very well at home. We've picked up some good points at home. Now it's about going on the road and doing the same.
We are rooting them on.
I mean, come on, if that
hoping
wasn't
for
enough,
number 2.
We've got pickleball as well this weekend in St. Louis. There's a lot going on, Kelly.
I know there is a lot going on. All right, thanks, Annie. We'll be right back. Jim, we have red all across the board for next week.
We do. Yeah, let's look at that and show you the numbers here. So dangerous heat. It is starting tomorrow, even though it was really hot today, 87 today, but felt more like 95. Tomorrow, 94, but it feels more like 105 in the afternoon. And then for Sunday, 95. Even a chance of a shower or a storm at any point during the overnight hours or afternoon or evening through early Monday. Then it dries out and just stays hot and humid all the way through next week.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to join us for Today in St. Louis tomorrow morning beginning at 6 a.m. Have a great tomorrow and have a great weekend.